Aloha, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Master Paul, coming at you live from a beautiful park here in Honolulu. I tried to position the camera a little differently, but I actually showed up as a very dark shadow. So today, coming in instead from a little different angle, and you can see one of the park areas behind me. So welcome, and today we'll be focusing on the secrets of the Kundalini. There is a lot of verbiage around the Kundalini that you will hear in relationship to yoga and in relationship to spiritual teachings. There are some spiritual adepts, teachers and gurus that know quite a bit about it. Some that teach properly, some that do not teach that well. And there are people that can actually be hurt if the spiritual energy center known as the Kundalini is not properly opened, blessed, and addressed in a healthy and pure and correct manner. There literally has been people that go to the mental hospital because they opened their Kundalini in an improper way. That's how significant this energy center is to our health and well-being. So if it's opened well, properly, which you'll learn today about that, you're also going to learn about the power and significance of this energy center, and why it's important to have it. Um, then you'll be very grateful for the wisdom and teachings that you'll receive here today. And so one of the great features about being a student, a worldwide representative and divine channel of Dr. and Master Sha, is that I do have the opportunity to receive exceedingly high level wisdom about the energy centers of the human body. And for those that are new for the first time, this is the third day of most likely a 5-day teaching about the lower energy centers of the lower torso of the body. These energy centers are very, very pertinent to our health and well-being. They're very pertinent to our immunity, our stamina, our vitality. They're pertinent to the intelligence even of the human body. They're quite relevant to our connectivity to the divine Tao and source. So the list goes on as to the power and the significance of these energy centers. So I encourage you to pay attention to the links listed above this video for those that are newer, because it will take you to my Facebook page. But also, if you become a friend, you'll have the opportunity to go to see the previous videos, and you can scroll through my page, and there's also an archive of the previous ones. So I want to take a moment and let all of you know I'm at a park here in Honolulu. I was running around doing a variety of things in Chinatown and getting ready for blessings for Master Jimena. And running a little bit out of time, said, okay, we'll just go to a local park. So I'm actually not too far from the airport. So if you hear airport noise in the background, you understand why. And I did try to position it where you can have an ocean view, but the lighting was such that I looked like a very dark shadow. So I positioned it a little differently, and now you get my happy face, but you get a backdrop that's not the ocean. So sorry about that, did the best I could. So anyway, let me acknowledge all of those that have joined us here today. So welcome Teresa Brown, welcome Yvonne, welcome Carol, and good to see you CJ as well. Welcome Ben. Very consistent coming in. Hope it's serving your soul journey, Ben. And welcome Dean. Also happy to see you consistently coming back, Dean. And welcome Sherry. Sherry had a wonderful healing earlier today. Congratulations on that. And Zilke. Welcome Kristen Rojas. Elizabeth. Welcome Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me, Shari. I don't know if you're going to the Tao Ability, Shari, but I will be up there in the Aurelia area in just about a week or so. Joanne, good to see you. Hopefully didn't keep you up too late. Welcome Ari, welcome Pamela. And welcome Bari. Welcome Johannes, welcome Eleanor. And also Stephanie. Pat, good to see you Pat. Welcome Nikki, welcome Angie. And Karen Irvin, welcome. Welcome Tammy. Okay, well, I appreciate your sharing, Tammy. One thing I shared yesterday, I'll stop a moment and acknowledging everybody. Um, I would encourage you to look at what I said yesterday, Tammy. What I said was every form of teaching has a root of love. It doesn't matter if it's Catholic or if it's Christian or if it's Buddhist or if it's the Quran. If it is a true essence, it carries love with it. And the Eastern philosophies, they have their own roots and they carry love with it. The Christian philosophies have their own root and it carries love with it. So one of the things I shared with people is that whatever is true for you is the most important. It matters not what I say. If it doesn't resonate with you, by all means, do not spend any time and energy exploring anything. You must honor your own soul and where it's at on its journey. That is the most important thing. And at the same time, if somebody else is on a different path and it's supporting their soul journey, it's very important that we honor them wherever they're at. And so I truly appreciate your sharing. I honor your sharing. I honor you and your soul journey. I love you unconditionally. And I hope that you maintain an open mind through your whole life, that others, wherever they're out on their soul journey, is perfect for them. So thank you for your sharing. Welcome Angie, welcome Scott, and Katie, good to see you. Katie shot down to Australia for a little while, and she's enjoying it down there, down under. Welcome Margaret. Okay, so thank you all for coming. Truly appreciate your presence, truly appreciate your being with me here today. So today's teaching is about an energy center known as the Kundalini. Now, everything that I share is not anything that I invented. This is taught all over the country of India. It's taught all over the eastern part of the world. And they're well aware of the energy centers of the human body. Western science is still waking up to it. It took about 15 years ago, the insurance company started acknowledging acupuncture, which is built on an energy-based system. And so as the human being wakes up to the energy aspect of their body, they start to recognize that we are souls and that heaven and earth has a way of bringing healing and rejuvenation to us through the energy vessel, which is hard to see under an x-ray. And so maybe later on next week I'll talk about the 7 chakras, but this week we're focusing on the lower energy centers of the human body. And I honor my teacher, Dr. and Master Sha, because he didn't have to reveal some of these sacred secrets. The purpose of opening up our energy body is to release the blockages that inhibit us from having an open heart. They inhibit us from having an open vehicle and being a light body, if you will. Those things that create suffering in us are often related to areas of our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and financial aspects of life that simply aren't working out for us. And so if we can address these energetic blockages, then the mind and the body will follow. And so the first teaching I want to share with you about the Kundalini, actually let us go ahead and connect first. Let us go ahead and connect to Divine Tao Source. So placing our hands in the Soul Light Soul Service hand position, which is very much like the prayer, where we drop the left hand in front of the heart center, the right hand remains pointed towards heaven. Let us connect fully. Dear the Divine, Tao, the Source, dear Creator, all beings of love and light, beloved Jesus, beloved Mother Mary, beloved Buddha, beloved Kuan Yin, dear angels, healing angels, archangels, masters and ascended masters, lamas, sifus, gurus, and saints, dear the soul of our individual heavens teams, guides, angels, and saints, we love you, honor you, deeply appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do in our life. We thank you for your saving our lives. We thank you for your guidance and your wisdom. We thank you for all that you do to help us to purify and become a pure vessel, to become a better servant to humanity. We ask for your presence today to come to sit in each of our heart centers. Bless us to open our heart. Bless us to remove mindsets, attitudes, and beliefs that create separation. Bless us to understand more about the energy centers, including today's teaching on the Kundalini. Please bless us in whatever way is most appropriate at this time on our soul journey. We're extremely, extremely grateful. Dear the Source Soul Song of love, peace, and harmony, we love you, we honor you, appreciate you. We ask at this time that you please be present. We ask that as we chant love, peace, and harmony, you radiate out to all souls in humanity, Mother Earth, and all universes to bring love, peace, and harmony to all souls. And we invite all souls in all universes to turn on this source soul song of love, peace, and harmony to join with us at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So just chant 1 or 2 rounds. For those that are new, just enjoy the blessings. For those that are not new, please join with me. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, la, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱传来望玲珑，耳目是相，相爱平安和谐，相爱平安和谐。I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, la, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱传染泪，望玲珑，耳目是相，相爱平安和谐，相爱平安和谐。I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. 好，好，好。Thank you, thank you, thank you. So how is a Mandarin Chinese word that means perfect, complete, get well. And we say thank you 3 times. The first thank you is to our divine creator. The second thank you is to all of the holy beings that took time out of their very busy day to come to be with us, to serve us. The third thank you is to our own soul for bringing us to this opportunity to awaken more, to align more to our soul journey, and release some of the blockages that keep us in the places that we're not enjoying. So I want to further acknowledge some of those new folks that have jumped in here. So welcome Teresa, welcome Margaret, welcome Angel, welcome Kristen Strachan, and welcome Master Avi. Kristen has posted the words of love, peace, and harmony on the MP3. The copyright has been removed from the song. The PDF has roughly 28 languages in it, but it's actually spoken in about 50 languages now. And the goal that is being asked, Master Sha is a servant to humanity, is asked that we serve humanity by getting as many folks as possible to sing love, peace, and harmony. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. I believe that that's a worthy cause. So welcome Heidler, and welcome Dove. Welcome Michelle. And thank you all for hitting the share buttons. I see new people joining us. I truly appreciate the sharing. So today is on the secret teachings of the Kundalini. And so I want to start by telling you what the Kundalini is and what it is not. The first is the Kundalini is not a chakra. It is an energy center. Um, an energy center can be anywhere in the body. There are quite a few, and there are quite a few more that I'm completely unaware of that are very sacred and secret points. And they are related to higher levels of clearing the physical, emotional, mental vehicle so that we can be a pure light being and be immortal, live forever, be with God forever. It takes a little while to accomplish that. And so in the meantime, we continue to open our heart, be a better servant, and find where these energy centers are so that we can clear them of their blockages. The Kundalini is a fist-sized energy center. So if you hold your fist up, that's about the size of yours. It is a golden color and a location. If you put your finger in your belly button and you go back about 2/3 of the way straight back on that invisible line, and then drop down about 2.5 inches. Okay, this is the area known as the Kundalini area. Now it does have a direct association with what is called the Mingmen acupuncture point. And what happens is in the Kundalini area, the energy spirals. And if you envision a circular spiral from the point going outward, it actually comes to the point called the Mingmen point, which is that dip in your back. So if you drew a straight line back from belly button, you would hit that dip in your back. And that is an acupuncture point, known very well by the acupuncturist, but it's also called the Mingmen point. It's the point where water and fire meet. It's the yin and yang meeting point. It's called the Tao point. There's a variety of terminologies around it. And when there's blockages in that area, it can manifest in the form of sleep deprivation, sleep conditions. When there's blockages in that area, it can create hot flashes. It can create blockages in terms of having constant headaches. It can create blockages with health and well-being. And one of the reasons why is the energy flows through the body in a circle. I'll touch on it a little bit, definitely more in later teachings. But the 7 chakras start at the base of the torso in the center of the body. They go through the torso, touching the 7 points, come to the top of the head, and then back down in front of the spine. That is one of the energy circles. The other one is actually not in the exact same line. The other one doesn't go in front of the spine, it actually goes through the spine. More in a later teaching. But in terms of why is the Mingmen point important? Why is the associated Kundalini important? Because if the circle of energy in the body is not flowing smoothly, then everything that follows that won't work all that well. So to remind you of some of the wisdom teachings, we are soul first. We were soul when we came from heaven, and when we became a body secondarily. The mind needs to be at the control of the soul. For most of us, it's in reverse. The mind tends to control us. Many of us have been taught things at age 5, 12, 17, 18. Later in life, we find that to be untrue. And yet we made choices the first half of our life based on things that we would have bet on it, that they were accurate. And so the mind is not always our best support. It can be of great value if we control it and if we use it properly. And so one of the downsides of doing improper energy practices and opening inner energy centers improperly is that too much frequency and energy rushes up to the mind and it causes it to basically short circuit. And there are conditions in which people have ended up in mental hospitals because the frequency was too much. It wasn't done in a healthy and balanced way. And so it's very, very important that you be in no hurry to do any spiritual practice, that you do it correct and you do it in a healthy and balanced way. And so one of the things that we're taught is that the Kundalini is what's called a postnatal energy center. Just a moment. And what that means is it has ancestral energy associated with it. Whereas our lower dantian, the 2nd chakra, we have to actually empower it. We have to do practices specifically to empower it. But the Kundalini point carries energy in it already from our ancestral tree. And so, oh good, Zilke says the PDFs are up to 40 languages. Wonderful. I have to get the new PDF. And so when we do practices for this area, one of the things that happens is we are releasing some of the blockages that tend to reside in this energy center. If we have blockages in this area of our body, it can manifest a little bit differently than the Mingmen point. I gave you examples of what happens when the Mingmen point itself has blockages. The Kundalini is not the Mingmen point. Again, the Kundalini is go to your belly button, go straight back, invisible line about 2/3 of the way, drop down about 2.5 inches, and this area is fist sized. So this area carries with it associations with strong immunity, good strong vitality, the ability to fight off diseases. It is very directly related to our kidney health. And the kidneys, unbeknownst to most folks, including myself, is the first organ formed when a child is being created. And so it's exceedingly important to our health and well-being. The kidney then is also directly related to the brain and the brain strength and brain intelligence. Now, on a side note, just something to be aware of through other readings that I have done, Alzheimer's and Alzheimer's victims, they found that when they autopsied the brains, that their brains had shrunk about 30% compared to other folks that died without the condition of Alzheimer's. And they found that it was very lack of water, very devoid of the necessary water for the associated brain functions. Those that have strong kidney power tend to have strong brain power. And so the Kundalini has a direct association to the kidney strength and accordingly the brain strength. There is also a direct association to the energy center known as the third eye. Now, the third eye, again, no deep teachings today, but so you know where the third eye center is, it's directly in the center of your brain. If you draw an invisible line from the tips of your ears to the top of your head, and then from your nose and touch that line, then you would go in to the center, and it's about a cherry-sized energy center. The third eye, everybody wants to open their third eye. They want to see heaven. They want to see things in the other worlds, so to speak. But one of the downsides is if you do not have a strong foundational energy center, such as the Kundalini and the lower foundation, the entire Jong, then you will have could have significant issues. If you chat with people who do have spiritual third eye, they could and often do complain of headache conditions. And that's because the third eye takes quite a bit of power to function well, as well as, of course, the more open your spiritual channels are, the purer the message is. So that's a whole nother teaching, but there is a direct association to the Kundalini. Now the Kundalini has many different names depending on the tradition that you're in. In the Buddhist tradition, they use the term snow mountain area, and we will use that for a visualization today. So if you have heard of something called the snow mountain area, then you would know it is in essence the same as the Kundalini. In other traditions, Taoist traditions, it's known as the golden urn, U-R-N, golden urn. And an urn, if you think about it, is that big vessel with the 3 legs on it, and it holds, that very heavy pot of heat. There's a whole lot of traditional information regarding boosting the power to the lower parts of the body, the Kundalini, etc., in association with the urn. Won't go into that today. Most of the people, at least in the Western nations, have heard of the terminology of Kundalini because of the yogic teachings coming out of India. And you probably have talked to enough people. If you're watching this today, then you have opened your spiritual awareness to some level. And if that has happened, you've probably done yoga and talked to other people that have done yoga. And there's a possibility, I would say maybe half of you have talked to somebody who has had a Kundalini experience. It could have been a good one, it could have been a scary one, but I wouldn't be surprised if about half of you hadn't heard of somebody. I have. I've heard of a lot of people who have had wonderful experiences, and some that were quite scared. And so when we do this practice, there's nothing to be worried about, because you're receiving teachings that are foundational. They're built on practices that have been safely applied for thousands of years. And as long as you do them following the instructions, you'll have very good results. Okay? So how do we do the Kundalini practice? When we do any of the practices, we employ the wisdom and teachings that Dr. and Master Sha has brought to us, which include the 4 powers. And we did this yesterday: body power, mind power, sound power, soul power. The 3 of them, most all of us know. We know that the way we sit is important to the way we receive energy. If we're slouched, it's not going to help our energy. So sitting up straight is important. Body power, where we place our hands, is where the energy flows. Okay, so I will give you a body power position, or a mudra, that will assist you in bringing the greatest energy to that area. The next power is sound power. Most of us are familiar that sound can heal and sound can hurt. And so sound power in relationship to this form of healing is called a mantra. There are many mantras. We're going to be using some simple ones that have a sound vibration associated with them that carry a higher frequency. Okay? And so one of the important teachings whenever you're boosting any energy center is to do it with higher frequencies in a healthy and balanced way. Sound power. The next one is mind power, creative visualization. And so mind power is very simple. Focus on the area. What you see is what you can receive. So we're going to have you focus on golden light. And soul power is a new power that has been released, and it is the most important power. I mentioned yesterday that an exceptional book on this, for anyone that's newer, is called The Power of Soul by Dr. and Master Sha, S-H-A. And you can find more from him on drsha.com. There are links that Kristen is posting on your behalf, so just look at Kristen Rojas chats and you will see a variety of information that you can follow. And so when we use soul power, what in essence we're doing is we're acknowledging that all souls in all universes are connected to the oneness. We're acknowledging that every speck of energy, every speck of matter has spirit in it, has God in it, has soul. And so when I say the words, everything has a soul, that's what I mean. Everything has the divine in it. And so our Kundalini has a soul. We want to acknowledge it. This would be called an inner soul. There are also outer souls, and that would be the divine, the Tao, the Source, Jesus, Buddha, outer souls. Okay? So when we do soul power, we are invoking the inner souls and the outer souls. That's what makes a significant difference in any practice that you do. Okay? So let's do this together. Sit up straight. This is body power. Welcome Tammy Lee. Welcome all the other souls that have jumped in there that I haven't stopped to acknowledge. I was busy chatting. So as Master Sha would say, if your name hasn't been mentioned, even more virtue to you. So sit up straight. Ideally, you'd like your feet flat on the floor. It's okay to be in lotus position. Now during this practice, unless you're obviously chanting out loud, you want to keep your tongue touched to the roof of your mouth. Gently. I keep mine right near the front of my teeth, nice and relaxed. Okay? And if you can, try to accomplish this the rest of your life. What it does is it connects part of that loop in your body that I was briefly mentioning to you. Now we're going to keep our mind and our focus on our Ming Men point. Again, to remind you, where is the Ming Men point? Draw that invisible line directly from your belly button to that dip in your back, straight back. And that is your Ming Men point. You're going to place one palm there, the center of your palm. And if you cannot reach there, then you're going to place that palm on your lower abdomen just below your belly button. Okay, so that's where one of your palms will go. The other palm you would rest with the center of your palm gently over your heart center. Okay? So one palm on your Mingmen point, one palm over your heart center. Don't push, nice and relaxed. That's your body power. We'll come back to that in a minute. I'm going to ask you to do a invocation with me, because part of connecting on the soul level is an invocation, and part of it is a forgiveness practice. So we're going to do both before we get started. That's your body power. Sound power, I will go to a couple different sounds, including the sound power Jo, Jo, Z-H-O-U, Jo, 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 Jo. This has a vibration associated with it that boosts power to the lower part of the body, specifically the second soul house, the Kundalini, the Jom. We will also use other mantra. Potentially, I will use divine light, divine light. I may say Tao light. Just go along with me. Visualizing, which is the third power, golden light in the area. Now, I may ask you to visualize a snow mountain. In that case, you would visualize golden light like the sunlight beaming down in the snow mountain. I'll decide to walk you through in just a minute. Go with it. And that's your sound power and visualization. Fourth power is your soul power. Soul power is the most important, so let us place our hands in the soul light, soul service hand position, left hand in front of your heart center, right hand gently pointed towards heaven. For those that are looking, it might look backwards on your camera. And let's do this together. Close your eyes. If it is comfortable, please repeat after me. Dear my beloved Creator, dear the Divine, dear all beings of light that have been invited here today, Jesus and Mother Mary, Buddha, all beings of light, and my heavens team, I love you, honor you, deeply appreciate you. If it is appropriate, could you please bless this practice to boost and build my Kundalini area? I would be most grateful. Thank you. Continue. Now we talk to the inner souls. Dear the soul of my Kundalini, I love you. You have the power to boost my energy, stamina, vitality, immunity. You have the power to bring healing and rejuvenation to my kidneys and brain. You have the ability to boost and empower my third eye. Do a great job. Thank you. And now we're going to chant. I want you to close your eyes. I will start by chanting Jo, and then I will walk you through a visualization. See golden light in the area of the snow mountain, snow mountain Kundalini area. Let us begin. Jo, 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 Jo. Jo, 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 Jo. Jojo, 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 Jo, Jojo, 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 Jo, Jojo, 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 Jo, 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 Jo. Continue to chant silently. And I want you to visualize in your Kundalini area a snow mountain. Visualize one that you're familiar with. It could be Mount Fuji or Mount Shasta or any mountain near you that is snow covered. Visualize a snow covered mountain in this special energy center and see a very bright sun shining on this snow mountain. Continue to chant Jo, 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 and as you visualize this bright sunlight heating up the snow-covered mountain. You see the water melting and running down the mountain to the lake that is already formed quite beautifully at the bottom of this most amazing mountain inside your energy center. Jo, Jo, keep chanting. Jo, 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 silently. Jo, 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 Jo. Visualize the hot, hot sun. Chant with me. Sunlight, 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 sunlight. It's melting the snow. The water is running down the mountain. And it's getting so hot that steam is coming off of this lake at the bottom of the snow-covered mountain. Steam is just roiling and rising off the lake. Silently continue. Sunlight, 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 sunlight. See the steam building. Sunlight, 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 sunlight. Divine light, divine light. Sunlight, sunlight, sunlight. See the steam getting more and more as the sun gets more intense and the snow continues to melt. The steam coming off the lake is hotter and hotter. The steam is thicker and it is rising. And it's rising and it's starting to rise up to your kidneys. And your kidneys open up with great joy, feeding and receiving the nourishment of this incredible, incredible blessing. Jo, 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 Jo. Jo 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 Jo. Say it quickly. Jo 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 Jo. See the light. Jo 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 Jo. Brighter, brighter. Jo 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 Jo. Jo 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 Jo. See the steam roiling up into your kidneys and it's going up your spinal column. Jo 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 Jo. Remember to keep your shoulders relaxed. Just see it all happening. Jo 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 Jo. Silently continue to chant. Jo 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 Jo. Light, 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 light. See the light getting brighter and brighter. The steam is more and more. It's going up your spine. Your spine is getting warmer and warmer as the steam goes up your spine and it starts feeding and nourishing your brain and third eye, but your focus is on your lower area, your Kundalini. See the lake, see the light. Light, 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 light. Light, 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 light. Silently. Light, 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 light. Light is getting brighter, warmer, hotter. The steam is rising. The spine and the kidneys are covered with steam. The brain, the third eye, is getting filled with steam. Light, 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 light. Jo, 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 Jo. Speak out loud now. Jo, 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 Jo. Remember, vibrate your lower body. Jo, 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 Jo. Light, 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 light. Jo, 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 Jo. Light, 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 light. Jo 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 Jo. Joe, 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 Joe. Silently chant slowly. Joe, 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 Joe. Feel the vibration in your lower body. Joe, 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 Joe. The sunlight beating down on the snow-covered mountain. Water continues to run into the lake. Lake continues to create steam. Joe, 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 Joe. Light, 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 light. Light, 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 light. Joe, 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 Joe. Light, 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 light. Joe, 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 Joe. Light, 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 light. Joe, 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 Joe. Continue to chant silently. I will offer a soul reading at this time of what is happening. For those that have third eye, please pay attention so you can report what you might see. How? It is very important for all of the souls to be more aware of the importance of this energy center. It is quite relevant to the health and well-being of the human vessel. When someone takes the time to empower this area, they are achieving multiple benefits, including the health and well-being of their organs and systems, the health and well-being of their kidneys and brain, the opening healthily of the energy system. For all of those that are practicing today, there has been a significant boost equivalent to 3 months of practice on your own in this 10 minutes of group practice with a divine channel. The significance of this is very important, as most do not understand that when you are working with a group and with someone that has significant authority, the benefits can be greatly enhanced. You are all very blessed. Continue. Jo, 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 jo. Light, 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 light. 好，好，好。Thank you, thank you, thank you. So pay attention to what's happening in your body and how you feel. Pay attention. Did you have a headache? Did you get really warm? Did you see any third eye images? Are you vibrating? What is happening for you now as you complete this 12 or 13 minutes of practice? For each of us, we could have a very different experience. If you, for example, have a headache, what that is indicative of is the energy was trying to push through a blockage. And so in the upper part of the jowl, in the back side of the body, there is blockage in this area. And it was not able to loop around. There is a clearing the blockages in the phone right now. Clear the signal, back the strong signal. Clear the phone blockages. Okay. I apologize if the phone was skipping. I had to clear the signal there. So we all have different experiences. For those that maybe, for example, have a little bit of a headache, it's indicative of blockages in the upper part of the body, moving up towards the head. The frequency is trying to go in a circle through the spine, up over the top of the head, back down and through the center of the body, and then loop back around. And if it signal return, divine order, clear blockages for this phone, clear the signal. Transmission. So having a very weak signal right now, not sure what to do about it. Hopefully it stays and I am able to maintain a strong signal. I'm sending blessings at this time. Ask the Divine Healing Hands healers to send signals so the phone signal is working. Okay. So the phone signal is obviously not very good right now. I apologize. Hopefully we won't lose it. So I will share. So Kristen, please post my website. I invite all of you to go to my website to learn more about what you can do to boost your Kundalini area. One of the things that you can do that can greatly assist in your Kundalini area is what is called a divine service. It will take the average person to create a golden light ball in their Kundalini area their entire life. That's a long time. And that's if you practice 6 hours a day very devotedly. For those that are able to locate a worldwide representative of Dr. and Master Sha, you have the opportunity to receive a Kundalini area Jindan. A Jindan is a golden light ball. And it is literally receiving a fist-sized golden light ball that all of the Shen, Qi, and Jing blockages that we carry in our Kundalini area are removed. And instantly, new energy and matter, new Kundalini golden light ball, free of Shen, Qi, and Jing blockages that would take you at minimum of one life, dedicated 60 hours a day, 60 years to build on your own. You instantly get it in just a few minutes. It comes with a light wall protection. This kind of a transmission is exceedingly rare. Master Sha, my spiritual teacher and father, one time had a guru with him from India who had a very wide open third eye. He was in San Francisco at this time. And he asked the guru with the third eye to watch as he transmitted what I'm talking to you about to one of the students. And the guru, he said his mouth dropped open and it took him a couple minutes just to wrap words around what he saw. He said, Master Sha, I cannot believe what I just saw. He said, I have been working on my own Kundalini my entire life. Mine is less than half the size of what I just saw come into this person. And you just did this in one divine order, 1 second. Instantly, this person has something that I've been working on my whole life and it's double my size. And so this guru instantly asked for one for himself also, which, thank you to Master Sha, he was able to receive. So I bow my head to Dr. and Master Sha. He is one of the most incredible universal servants. He has passed on some authorities to his divine channels, and that includes the ability for you to receive energy centers. One of them is the Kundalini, and one of them is the lower Dan Tian, which is what we did on Monday. Another one, for example, is the heart center, which is extremely important. Many heart center blockages in our life. The package of all three, the Kundalini, the lower Dan Tian, and the heart center, including the clearing of the Shen, Qi, Jing blockages, the light wall protection, brand new light balls the size of your fist in the heart center, the lower Dan Tian, and the Kundalini, is $300. That's the entire package. I paid that for each of them when I was doing it, and the package was less powerful than what it is now. I was happy to pay almost $1,000 for all three of them, but it has been reduced because Master Sha needs to get this information out to the world, and we need more people empowered with light bodies. So if this is of interest to you, you can go to my website, Kristen posted it there, and you can click through until you see the areas. And so my phone keeps trying to cut off on me, so I'm going to have to cut this short really quickly. I'm sorry I have not had a chance to read your comments. I did read them as they scrolled through. Thank you very much for your sharing. Today was a very, very powerful teaching, not a small teaching, very potent. I invite you to return tomorrow. I invite you to go to Master Sha's website. And I invite you to the 21-day challenge, which is being kicked off at Master Sha's Tao Healing Center in Honolulu, Thursday. So that's just like tomorrow, depending on what day it is in the world. It's Wednesday where I'm at. And it's 6 to 9 p.m. Hawaii time. But I encourage you to enroll in the 21-day package, because you can choose one specific area of your life you have a major blockage with, and you can receive significant benefits. So if you're interested in receiving the energy centers for the lower Dantian, the Snow Mountain area, which is the Kundalini, and the heart chakra, clearing the blockages, the relationship blockages, all kinds of blockages in the heart center, just all kinds of blockages, they could lead to major emotional things. That and the lower Dantian and the Snow Mountain area, all three of them, only $300, okay? So contact me either through Facebook Messenger or through my website. Thank you for coming. I'm afraid I'll get cut off any minute now by the energy, the signal here, the cell phone signal. But again, thank you for your sharing. Very, very important of what you shared about your experiences. I'll go back in afterwards and comment back to you later. And please, at the end of this video, share the video. And also, if you're new and you enjoyed this, please hit the subscribe button and you'll know when I go live each and every day. I've enjoyed connecting with you today from Honolulu. We thank Divine Tao Source, we thank Jesus, Mother Mary, Buddha, all of the holy beings that came, all of our individual heavens, teams, guides, angels, and saints. We thank Master Sha. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.